Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to talk about drowned pharaoh found. Great subject, guys. One of the most proof that Quran is the truth. There is a problem in the Bible. It insists that Pharaoh's body drowned in the Red Sea. Pharaoh wore body armor that would have sunk his corpse to the bottom of the sea. Indeed, but we discovered all mummies of Pharaoh in that era. There was no mummy lying at the bottom of the sea as the Bible claimed. There is no such thing as a missing Pharaoh mummy from that time of Moses. So if he really drowned, then his body armor should have sunk his corpse to the bottom of the sea, and his body should be missing today. The soldiers did not wear any armor, but the Pharaoh did. Because of the climate, very little armor was ever worn in Africa. In Egypt, Old and Middle Kingdom, Egypt's soldiers never wore armor. In Old Kingdom, they are usually depicted wearing only a belt and a small triangular loincloth. Sometimes broad leather bands covered parts of the torso of the charioteers, but generally soldiers are depicted without any body protection, and the pharaoh were not surprisingly the exception. Pharaoh wore scale armor. Copper and iron scale were shown to leather and fabric. Then semi-precious stones were for decoration. The pharaoh often wore scale armor with inlaid stones, which offered better protection, the stones being harder than the metal used for arrow tips. The metal armor plus the semi-precious stones are much denser than water and should have sunk the corpse of Pharaoh to the bottom of the sea. Instead, we found his body inland, mummified. Since they didn't have the technology to find and raise his body, Christians have to explain who raised his body from bottom of the sea, but the Quran didn't make this mistake. Instead, the Quran insists that Allah specifically saved Pharaoh's body. Let's turn to Quran 10 to 92. Today, we will preserve your body so that you become a sign for those after you. But most people are heedless of our signs. Allah saved Pharaoh's body because Pharaoh could not float. And since Allah saved his body, then no mummy should be missing today. No mistakes in the Quran. Not at all. How can an illiterate man who lived 1400 years ago have known that Pharaoh would have sunk? Alhamdulillah. Shukran, brothers and sisters.